This is the TV news for Tuesday, February 15th, 2011. Brought to you by newmaru.com, Internet Marketing Education for Professional People. Hello, I'm Jeff Grimshaw, and we begin with the New Media New Marketing Report. Humanizing your brand. Yeah, it's critical to do in today's marketplace. But what the heck is it, and how do you get it done? Well, with us now to explain from newmaru.com is John Leland. John.
Hey, Jeff, how you doing? Yeah, actually, even more, what is it and how do you do it? I think we might even start with why would you want to humanize your brand? And it brings us back to the subject I talked about last week, which is authenticity. And there, both humanizing your brand and connecting with consumers via some form of authenticity is really not just an opportunity or a strategy in today's market. I think that it's an imperative. And the reason is because fundamentally in the clutter, in the noise, in the chaos almost of today's media environment, consumers, viewers, what have you, are looking for brands that they can trust. And the only way that you're going to generate trust, only way that you're going to generate real engagement is with a brand that operates like a friend, like a real relationship, like a human being. And that's what we're talking about when we're talking about humanizing brands. I picked up that term off an article on the blog called The Next Web. They had a really good interview with a guy named Benjamin Palmer from the Barbarian Group in San Francisco, reputed to be one of the hippest digital creative agencies in New York City. And he's talking in depth about humanizing brands. We got into it a little bit last week. I also got into it with Robert Rabin, the author of a book called Authenticity Accelerator, on one of my New Maru webinars. And I got so excited about the components of that I edited 10 minutes of highlights, which are on the new Maru YouTube channel at youtube.com/newmarketingu. And that is, really goes into depth about why humanizing the brand and being authentic lets people trust you and enables people to really engage with you in ways that are mandatory. The old kinds of marketing and hype and superficial treatments just are not going to cut it today, and especially are not going to cut it into the future. So the faster brands get on the bandwagon of really trying to be as real, human, and authentic as possible, the better chance they have to succeed in the new media environment.
Thank you, John. It's very human of you to stop by and talk to us about humanizing the brand. We thank you, John, and we will see you next week.
Get ready for the TV industry celebration of 2011. It's happening this November, but the big announcement is coming in March. Stay tuned.
Well, music's biggest night turned into one of TV's biggest nights. The 53rd Annual Grammy Awards delivered nearly 27 million viewers. And not only is that a 3% rise over last year's festivities, but it also represents the highest viewership in well over a decade. Congratulations to the Grammys and, of course, to CBS. What happens when you invest upwards of $200 million to launch a brand new network with a can't-miss brand name and then with consumers it misses? Well, if you're Discovery and the network in question is the Oprah Winfrey Network, well, then you plow in an additional, say, $50 million. Now, with this new cash infusion from Discovery, OWN will move ahead with a new show for Oprah this fall, and hopefully this will create as much enthusiasm with consumers as OWN has generated so far with both advertisers and distributors. Well, you've got to know this by now. The TV news is this close to 300,000 views by top TV and new media pros. And check out our clout scores, which measure our mega influence in social media within the industry. Nice, very nice. To become a big deal sponsor of the TV news, ping us with an email at advertise@thetvnews.tv. And that about does it for this edition of the TV News. We will be back tomorrow with a fresh edition, and Susan Hibben will be right here to deliver the Programming Pulse. I'm Jeff Grimshaw. We thank you very, very much for watching, and as always, go out and make it good day.
The TV News has been brought to you by American Ingenuity TV. For all of your electronic marketing and creative challenges, American Ingenuity TV is simply the solution.